Thanks, Jim. Well, depending on your school district, exactly 2 weeks or just short of it. Either way, a strange end to the school year coming up. So many things to talk about in education. So let's welcome back East Syracuse Manoa Superintendent Dr. Donna Desiato. Donna, thanks for joining us here tonight.
Absolutely. It's great to see you again, Jeff.
So let's see. I got a lot of things for you. We'll try to get to as many as possible. Graduations are going to be coming up very soon. Kind of a sore spot for so many seniors. Districts trying to do the best they can to honor them, having some kind of ceremony. Every district doing it a little differently. What are you guys doing in ESM?
Well, we got very clear guidance to all districts in New York State yesterday from the New York State Department of Health. And in that guidance, we have an option of a drive-in, a drive-through, and a virtual ceremony. So we've decided for the one that's actually somewhat phrased as the drive-through, where students and their families, one at a time, a family, and as long as we stay within the number of the 10 individuals, which would mean 8 members of the family, our executive high school principal will be there, and we will have a photographer. We're going to conduct that with masks and gloves. They can walk into our stadium, and we will conduct a ceremony in the stadium for that individual student and their family. All of it will be recorded, and we plan to then have it all edited, and it will be shared on June 25th as a virtual ceremony once it's all edited.
Next topic, new this week from the College Board, they announced there's going to be no at-home SATs as they were planning, and they're urging colleges don't hold that against students on their college applications. I'm sure that's still got many high schoolers and their parents nervous about that. What are you telling them to kind of calm them a little bit about this?
Well, one, we have been informed by many colleges that they are not awaiting the results of SATs, that they will look at other measures. However, we have been alerted that they plan to do an August administration, the possibility of an October administration. Again, the guidance would have to change because it has to be held in a school setting. So we're continuing to keep our students informed, our families informed. But right now, I would say that knowing that everyone is under this particular situation, I would not stress about it. I think that we have other means by which we can measure student success. And I did want to mention one more thing about the graduation as well for you, Jeff, that we are just awaiting, which they told us in the guidance yesterday, they will review it again in July. So as soon as it is reviewed again, if we are allowed to have an in-person ceremony at a later date, we would certainly do that as soon as possible.
So we're talking about the end of one school year, and I'm going to make you talk about the beginning of the next school year. Planning for September, are you already buying things like hand sanitizer, masks, things like that, starting to formulate some kind of plan as you wait for exact state guidance on what to do in September?
Yes, certainly we're in the process of being proactive on the fact that things such as hand sanitizers, masks, the scanning thermometer for our nurses' offices, and gloves. We know we're going to need to be equipped with those no matter how far we move along, just for the high levels of being able to have good hygiene, disinfecting continuously, washing hands continuously. So we don't know exactly what the protocols will be for the reopening yet. We haven't received that, but yes, we are purchasing materials right along so that we have a base of those materials. We did in our district appoint the board appointed based on the recommendations that I brought that last Monday night to our board meeting, a district advisory committee. Those are some key stakeholders within the district that will begin as soon as the protocols or guidance are released from the state. The health department, the CDC, and others will be reviewing that. It has not been released yet, nor from state ed, but we want to be prepared when it is. I'm sure we'll also have work groups right within not only each level, but within buildings that will really look at some of the more detailed types of plans that we will need, again, depending on the guidance.
I'm going to throw one at you here, my last question that we're literally just getting in.
Sure.
That's why I want to read it off my phone, that from Albany, that they're expecting an executive order from Governor Cuomo allowing necessary in-person special ed instruction this summer. Any school district providing these services must follow all state and federal guidance. What's that mean for East Syracuse, Manoa, and these students that rely on these services?
Well, again, we actually are prepared to do a distance learning. We do have a special education program that's operating. If there were to be a relaxing of the guidance in any way, we would actually have to look at the preparation for that. I think what's really most important there is that if you look at the guidance that was just released, for example, for offices, I think there were about 6 to 8 pages of protocols that had to be put in place by any office. I would imagine that any type of in-school, in-person, we will probably see 12 to 20 pages of guidance, if not more. So it's the preparation time, knowing that you've got the appropriate PPE equipment, the personal protective equipment for both staff, what type of tools and protective measures do we need for students, what type of transportation, if there is any, will be provided, and what protocols will there be. So I think it's about giving us time for the planning that will be critical to the success.
Donna, as always, more questions than I have time. We're going to welcome you back again very soon to ask you more of those questions. But thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. And as always, thanks for keeping our community informed. Thank you, and stay healthy and stay safe.
Thank you. You too, ESM Superintendent Dr. Donna Desiato. And we're going to be right back with your Family Healthcast. Stay with us.